Palantir is up 9.5% after hours. At one point, Palantir was up like 11 point something percent, nearly 12%. Okay. One. Two. Palantir today was only down 3.5%, 3.25%, which is really, really good. We held our price really, really, really good. All right. Now, if you go to Snow that just had earnings, Snow is down 11.11%. Make a wish. I guess it is what it is. I guess people that own Snow fucked around and found out. As far as I understand, they are slowing their expectations of growth. We'll go over it in just a moment. And we have NVIDIA news that NVIDIA actually beat demolished earnings and they actually raised guidance. And this has everything to do with artificial intelligence. Now, since NVIDIA raised guidance for artificial intelligence, that means that artificial intelligence is actually here. There's also two more pieces of news that a lot of people are not following. Check this out. So, two more pieces of news. Let me just do the short interest. 1 second. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. 1 second. I just retweeted it. 1 second. I just retweeted it. Let me just find it. Tweets. Okay, this one right here. So then Mike, shout out to Mike 09964617. He says breaking Palantir record jumping on shorting Palantir. So the shorts on Palantir is going up. Palantir is back to the second most shorted stock after Siri at 200 million. And this is the chart, which means that people are shorting Palantir, which is good. If you guys remember what happened with GameStop and AMC and Nokia and BlackBerry, all those companies, there was a short squeeze. So what's happening is when you're shorting a company, there's many ways of doing it. But one of the main reasons, the ways is by buying options or borrowing shares. And then you got to pay back. So if the price doesn't go down of the stock, you have to end up buying the shares of stock because you're borrowing it. And as the price keeps going up, you have to borrow more shares. You have to close that out. You have to buy the shares, open up new shorts, so on and so forth. So as long as bulls are in control, bears are going to get decimated and the price of Palantir can go up. There's also one more piece of news. Microsoft, it looks like, got hacked by the Chinese. Yeah. So let me do this right here. Let me see, accept cookies. All right. So Microsoft announced that the Chinese group has hacked critical U.S. infrastructure, Microsoft warns. So I don't know if Microsoft got hacked on something that they control, but as you remember, impact level 6, it's only Palantir, Microsoft, and Google. And if something by some way, shape, or form, even a little bit happened bad that Microsoft had control of, a lot of business is going to go to Palantir, even more so. So these are the 4 catalysts that's happening right now. So let's start by reading the article about Microsoft being hacked, possibly. I'm not saying Microsoft got hacked. Microsoft warned of a hack. And then let's go into Snowflake earnings, NVIDIA earnings, and the short interest. We'll go one by one. Now, do me a favor. Retweet this in Twitter for me. Can you guys please retweet this? And if you guys are not following me on Twitter, please follow me on Twitter. And we're going to keep going in just a moment. So, state-sponsored Volt Typhoon campaign. Oh, 1 second. Let me do this. State-sponsored Volt Typhoon campaign is alleged to seek disruption of communication links. So this is sponsored by China. Microsoft has warned that a state-sponsored Chinese hacking group has compromised critical infrastructure in the U.S. in order to disrupt communications between the country and Asia in an event of a crisis. A rare announcement about a system breach, the U.S. technology group said the hackers, codenamed Volt Typhoon, have operated since the mid-2021. They have been able to infiltrate organizations across industries by exploiting vulnerabilities in a popular cybersecurity platform called FortiGuard. In this campaign, The affected organizations span the communications, manufacturing, ability, transportation, construction, maritime, government information technology, Microsoft said. It added that the hacking group actions had focused on gathering intelligence and espionage rather than causing immediate disruption. It added, Microsoft assesses with moderate confidence that this Volt Typhoon campaign is pursuing development of capabilities that could disrupt critical communication infrastructure between the United States and Asia region during future crises. Microsoft said it had notified target or compromised customers and urged them to close or secure their accounts. Microsoft said it had notified targeted or compromised. Now, if Microsoft had something to do with this, or this is Microsoft Watch, and this is around since 2021, this is bad, because then it took Microsoft 2 years to figure this out. This is very good for Palantir. The U.S. and international cybersecurity authorities issued a joint advisory about Volt Typhoon on Wednesday and also warned of Chinese state sponsorship attacks. Okay. Living off land referred to cyber attacks. They use legitimate tools already installed. So I'm not sure if Microsoft got hacked, but Microsoft is the ones that are reporting on this, which is pretty freaking crazy. So that's one. Now you have NVIDIA that's up 27% after hours. So let's see if we can find what's happening to NVIDIA. NVIDIA earnings. News. NVIDIA shares spiked. NVIDIA shares spiked 25% on huge forecast beat driven by AI chip demand. All right. So, you know how people look at Walmart to see how the economy is doing? You know how people are looking at Home Depot and Lowe's to see how the housing is doing, right? Because it's a precursor of what's happening in housing. Well, this is kind of what's happening here. Guys, we have 91 people in the chat. Once I get 100 people, I am going to ring the Poland Spring bottle. I will crush the Poland Spring bottle. So let's try to get 100 people, please. So if you believe AI is a revolution or a renaissance that's happening, is irrelevant. One way to gauge it is, are people buying better computers, specific chips that are going to enable AI? And one way to figure this out is NVIDIA. So NVIDIA rises 25%, but this is the very important thing. The beat is driven by AI chip demand, which means guys, we got 100 people. Yeah! Jerk off to Poland Spring. 100 people in here. Thank you so much. 100 people. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So, because artificial intelligence by NVIDIA is being pushed by AI demand chips, that means AI is real. That means that it's not just a fad. It doesn't mean that it's fake. It doesn't mean that it's full of shit. This is like really, really real. You know what I mean? NVIDIA reported first quarter earnings for its fiscal 2024 on Wednesday, with stronger than expected forecasts that drove shares 25%. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said that the company was seeing surging demand for its data center products. Earnings per share 109 instead of 92 expected. Revenue was $7.19 billion versus $6.15 billion expected. NVIDIA said it expected about $11 billion plus or minus 2% in the current quarter, far surpassing the expectations. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let me see if I get something out. NVIDIA's data center group reported $4.28 billion in sales versus expectations of $3.9 billion, a 14% annual increase. NVIDIA said that the company's performance was driven by demand for the company's GPU chips from cloud companies as well as large customer internet companies. which use NVIDIA chips to train and deploy Bro, this is it right here, guys. This is it right here. This is the magic sauce. Let's read that again. This is the magic fucking sauce, guys. NVIDIA's data center group reported 4.28 billion versus 3.9 expected. 14% increase. They said the demand was driven for companies' GPU chips from cloud companies. Okay, who's your cloud companies? Microsoft, Google, Oracle, Amazon, IBM, I'm sorry. Oracle too, actually. Oracle is also a cloud company. But you have your main three, then you have IBM and Oracle, if I'm not mistaken. Guys, this is a huge, 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 huge deal. Why is it huge? The reason why they're asking for these new AI GPUs is because they're investing so much money into AI. And if you believe in AI, you believe that it's really here, Palantir is going to have a huge, huge, huge role to play. Remember, Palantir is cloud agnostic. It allows you to take your data on cloud, including your AI data, and do more with it. So on top of the AI models that Microsoft, Google, Amazon are building, you can do even more with Palantir on top. It's really, 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 really cool, man. It's really, really cool. NVIDIA's strong performance in data center shows that AI chips are becoming increasingly important for cloud providers and other companies that run large amounts of servers. Let's just do a quick search, shall we? Google Trends. I just want to show you guys something. Just want to show you something. Do you remember Bitcoin? Okay. Do you remember Bitcoin? Check this out. Bitcoin. Guys, I'm a crypto bull, by the way, right? We know I'm a crypto bull, but check this out. And look at AI. Let's also add artificial intelligence. Artificial. Did I spell that correctly? All right. So artificial intelligence not here, but look at AI, right? So let's go back now for the last 90 days. Actually, let's go back for 5 years. Guys, look at this. Artificial intelligence is searched for more than Bitcoin. More than Bitcoin in June 2022 when it had a run-up. More than Bitcoin in 2021 when it had a run-up. More than Bitcoin in 2021 in the beginning of the year. And even more than Bitcoin earlier than that. Guys, it's absolutely freaking remarkable. Absolutely freaking remarkable that AI is taking over the search queries for Bitcoin. Remember the Bitcoin hysteria right here? Remember December 2017? AI can still go higher. AI can still go higher. And this is what's pushing the narrative, right? This is what's pushing this whole narrative of artificial intelligence. And if you believe in the narrative of artificial intelligence, you gotta believe in Palantir. Palantir is at the forefront of artificial intelligence, and it's proving that. Now, ChatGPT comes in, and now it's putting a picture. It's visualizing what artificial intelligence can do. It has this large language model that is essentially generic, right? So ChatGPT is the liberal arts of artificial intelligence, okay? ChatGPT is the liberal arts of artificial intelligence. Palantir is going to make a specific ChatGPT for your company. If you've noticed, Databricks comes out the other day and he says that there is a lot of demand from their customers to build specific large learning models for themselves, like ChatGPT for their specific companies. The demand for AIP is real, guys. The demand for AIP is going to show, and people are hoping that it's going to show in the next quarter, okay? The next earnings. Let's now go at Snow, right? Let's now look at Snowflake earnings. Okay, and let me just put in Hood again. 1 second, Robinhood. Let's go into Robinhood one more time. So let's just look again. Let's see where Palantir is right now after hours. Palantir is still 9% after hours. It's holding, guys. 9% is good. But look at this. We had 11+%. Then we dropped down to 7.7. We jumped back up, right? We jumped back up. So we're holding the line, right? We are definitely holding the line. This is very important. Let's look at Snowflake. Snowflake is still down. Snowflake cannot recover. Snowflake is doing very, very, very bad. I have a bet with Chris Patel for $2,000. It looks like I'm winning. It looks like I'm winning. Let's see. Let's do Snowflake. Okay. So now let's look at the Snowflake earnings. And then I'm going to look at a couple of other things. Snowflake shares plunged 12% on guidance miss. Acquisition of search startup Neva. Snowflake beat on the top and bottom end for the fiscal first quarter, but it gave product revenue guidance that missed consensus estimates, which means, let me just explain this. If the entire industry, right, and whether you guys believe Snowflake is or is not competition to Palantir, Snowflake, by the eyes of the population, by the eyes of institutions and retail, is, for the most part, competition. So you have Palantir, you have Databricks, you have, I think now you have Snowflake, right? This is how people perceive the market. So if the guidance is down for Snowflake and guidance was down for Palantir, right? Because Palantir, it did good this quarter, but the last couple of quarters, it kept going down. This is a sign that the entire industry was down and nothing specifically wrong with Palantir. But now Palantir has a chance to capitalize on the AI movement and Snowflake does not. That is a very big difference. The cloud software company expects product revenue will be between $620 million and $625 million for the second quarter. Analysts polled by the Street Account had predicted 649. This is a massive drop. This is a massive, massive drop. Off the top of my head, this is like what, 5% lower? 25 million of this, like 4%. They're going to be shy of 4% of growth. This is big. It's not small, you know? Guys, we have 148 people in here. If I get 150, by the way, let me check if somebody in Twitter wants to join. I told people that I'm going to send out a link. So if somebody wants to join, they could do it. Let me see 1 second. So I put out a tweet. Let me see if anybody's joining me. Snow dump combined with NVIDIA's greatness. Okay, nobody wants to join me. That's cool. So now we have Snowflake did bad, which is good for Palantir. NVIDIA did amazing, which is amazing for Palantir. We went over the hack from Chinese government, which is really good for Palantir. If Microsoft was involved in this hack, like their security went down, this is going to be ridiculously. And now we have a short squeeze. Let's go to the short squeeze, okay? Let's go to the short squeeze. Let's also see what's happening with Palantir. 1 second. Let me see. Where is it? Where was it? 1 second. If you guys, so this was a tweet by Mike, right? Mike puts out a tweet and he says, breaking, Palantir record jumping on shorting. We went from 123 million to 158 million, and is back, and it's second after 200 million by Siri. Guys, this is huge. So people increase, so the short position on Palantir increased by 20% as far as I'm understanding, right? This is big. The short position keeps growing. If this is the highest short position we had, if I'm not mistaken, 158 is the highest that we've had. 157, 130s. Bro, it's big. It's big. And the days to cover is getting smaller. I don't know if you guys could see this. 2 days. This is really, really big. And the percentage jump is 28% of short interest. So if you guys remember what happened with AMC, what happened with GME, if you remember what happened with all of those stocks, the reason why they got squeezed is people were borrowing shares to short the company because they thought the price was going to go down. The AMC army, the GameStop army, was supporting the stock. And because of that, the short sellers had to cover their calls. The way you cover your calls, you borrow. If the price doesn't go down, you actually have to accumulate shares in order to cover your calls. And then you can borrow again and again and again. So the short sellers are increasing their position because they think Palantir is going to drop. Palantir keeps going up because of people like Cathie Wood and so many other institutional investors. Remember, Cathie Wood did not buy the other day. Cathie Wood did not increase her position. Cathie Wood only has around 6 million shares of Palantir. That means other institutional investors are these people up and Palantir keeps going up. This is very, very important, guys. Do not underestimate the that's happening to the shorts right now that are trying to go against Palantir. Palantir is doing a phenomenal job.